Yo, what's up guys? In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the Chicago Bulls point guard problems. As everyone knows, we drafted Coby White, we re-signed Ryan Archie, and then we did a sign and trade with the Washington Wizards for Tomas Satoransky. So the Chicago Bulls now have 4 point guards, and most teams usually have 3, I'd say. So we're going to start out with Kris Dunn. I believe Kris Dunn will most likely get traded, or honestly, I believe he'll be the backup point guard for the Bulls next season. A few weeks ago, there has been a bunch of rumors and news about Kris Dunn and his agent already checking out of Chicago. I guess they haven't been talking to the Bulls, or I guess Kris Dunn really hasn't been practicing with the Chicago Bulls and have been in no contact with them. And Kris Dunn also did this last year. He didn't train with the team. He trained alone. So that was a mess too. And as everyone knows, the front office always takes jabs at him, and they don't really like him. He just hasn't been the point guard that we needed him to be when we traded for him. But I still believe he could be a great backup, but it just depends if him and his agent would, allow him to be a backup, or unless they want him to start or get traded. But yeah, last year for the Chicago Bulls, he averaged 12 points per game, 4 rebounds, and 6 assists per game. So nice, solid stats. I just believe Kris Dunn, if he had a 3-point shot to his game, the offense would just flow so much better. And that's the main reason why I believe we added players. I like Kris Dunn as a basketball player. I just believe he doesn't play good with Zach LaVine, and there's a bunch of proof about that. So I believe he'd be a great backup point guard, or we should try and trade him for another young talent, or maybe get a pick back or something. The Kris Dunn and Chicago Bulls situation has been a mess for a while now. I just can't wait for something to happen, But yeah, if he's not traded and the backup point guard, like I believe he will be, I can see him averaging about 8 points per game, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists per game off the bench. And I believe he'll be a great 6-man for the bench. He can run the offense, which I really feel like he couldn't do when he started. So that would be an interesting situation. And our second point guard is Coby White. And I believe Coby White to start off the season is going to be the backup point guard or shooting guard. It all depends if we keep Kris Dunn. And if he's a backup point guard or shooting guard, I predict him to average 8 points per game and like 5 assists. Nice solid stats for a rookie. I mean, they're nothing like shocking, but people tend to forget that he's only 19 years old, so he's going to struggle. At first. Of course, he's a young kid. I just hope he develops later on into that season and maybe becomes like just more consistent, because I'm sure he's going to be really inconsistent. Or maybe near the end of the season, he becomes our starting point guard. That'd be something I'd love to see. And our third point guard is Tomas Satoransky. I believe he will be the starting point guard for the Chicago Bulls. I just feel like he knows how to run an offense. He's 6'7". People forget that he's a 6'7" point guard. He's really tall. Pretty sure he's taller than Zach LaVine, our starting shooting guard. And he's a great 3-point shooter, so I could just see him fitting amazing with our starting 5. And last year with the Washington Wizards, he averaged 9 points per game, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists. And my prediction is if he starts, I believe he'll average 12 points per game, 5 rebounds, and 7 assists per game. He's pretty much a walking triple-double. He's just a good, solid basketball player that can hopefully slide into the Chicago Bulls starting point guard position and translate some W's, and hopefully just help the team out and get us into the playoffs. And the fourth point guard is Ryan Archie. And I really can't see him playing unless, one of the top 3 guys get injured, or, they trade Kris Dunn. But yeah, I believe Ryan Archie will barely see the court this year. We re-signed him for a 3-year, $9 million, so a cheap backup. So I see him nothing more than a depth signing. But yeah, make sure to leave a comment below if you think the Bulls are going to trade Kris Dunn, who's going to start, who's going to be the backup, or anything. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good one.